Hello, I'm the Irish guy, and yes, I have already done my Premier League predictions, which are the best set of predictions in the world. Although, in my video, for some reason, everyone just did the exact same thing, going against whatever I said.
Thank you for guaranteeing Wolves' survival. Was not sure, but with your relegation prediction, we are safe. Congrats to Liverpool for winning the league and matching the invincible record. It's a shame to see Fulham go down. They were a fun team to watch last season. Congratulations to Arsenal for winning the league this season. Huge congrats to Wolves for a record-breaking Premier League winning campaign. Congratulations to Wolverhampton for beating the record points tally. Congratulations to Crystal Palace for cracking the 50 points mark. As a Forest fan, I want to thank you for the top 10 finish.
Okay. This video is revenge. I'm gonna throw all of you into the spotlight. Because what? What if I was stupid? What if I had the brains of a soggy milkshake? I know there will be buffoons out there who will fall into the trap of predicting certain clubs to finish in certain places. So I am coming for you in this video. In this video, I'm going to show you a Premier League table featuring wrong answers. So if you predicted any of these clubs to finish in these places, then you have my permission to feel offended because yes, I am calling you stupid. Am I really calling my own subscribers stupid?
I'm sorry, I love you, really?
Right, let's go. 20th Burnley. Do it. I dare you. Look me in the eyeball and tell me that you think that Burnley will finish rock bottom of the league. It will be akin to telling me that you actually believe that your mum is Britney Spears. I back Burnley so much that hearing any rambling nonsense from anybody that thinks the Vincent Kompany squad will put them to 20th in May, again, I would think that you were also the type of intellectual slug who used their own bedsheets as toilet paper. No chance to Burnley finish bottom. I know they don't exactly have a superstar squad, but Kompany is the next elite manager. He is the future Manchester City boss. I mean, these are the last 10 blokes who finished 20th in the Premier League. Ruben Selles, Dean Smith, Paul Heckingbottom, Daniel Farke, Jan Stewart, Darren Moore, David Moyes, Eric Black, Chris Ramsey, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Look at the standard of that. Do you really think that Vincent belongs in their company? See what I did there? No, most of those guys have the footballing IQ of a muddy tea bag. Kompany does not belong in that esteem. Kreisler, this is such an intelligent, dignified, elite tactician that he realistically could just employ Solskjaer to butter his toast. If there's any of you who can't see the magic of VK, then I just feel bad for you. But I'm sorry, this is a man that managed to get Burnley to clean up 101 points in the championship season, playing slick, pretty football. He has managed to make Burnley look beautiful. That's like a makeup artist in Hollywood somehow slapping enough foundation and mascara on Danny DeVito until he looks like Robert Pattinson. This is not how the Kompany project ends. It would be too anticlimactic. It would be like Frodo Baggins having a fatal heart attack in the kitchen 20 minutes into the first Lord of the Rings film. Burnley are on a journey under Kompany. They are on a quest. And so if they do just finish bottom of the league, I will eat moldy fish and chips while sitting in a freezing lake. 19th Bournemouth. I know there will be some bitter pundits out there who are still crying for Gary O'Neill. I know there will be some people out there who think,
Oh, Gary O'Neill did a world-class job at Bournemouth, sacking him for some unknown Spanish geezer. It's about as clever as letting your cat make you breakfast in bed.
no, it's a bit like Southampton harshly sacking Nigel Adkins, but replacing him with Mauricio Pochettino? Yeah, Pochettino grew up to coach Lionel Messi. Adkins got sacked by Reading and Hull. There will be some people who can't see the bigger picture. Apparently O'Neill is some great future England manager, and now Bournemouth choosing to sack this managerial newbie, someone who recently was just making the coffee at Liverpool, apparently dumping the future England boss. It's essentially them writing their own death certificate. So much fuss over a polite little man with a 29 win percentage. Andoni Areola, by contrast, is a 41-year-old coach, just a year older than Gary, and yet has managed over 200 games, and was an absolutely spellbounding boss of Rayo Vallecano, who played slick, saucy football. He had them sitting 5th in La Liga after 20 games last season. He's beaten both Real Madrid and Barcelona. And anyone who thinks that without O'Neill, this entire squad will just look like a helpless bunch of puppies who've just been tossed into the toilet of a giant? Oh, no. I think over the next 3 years, Bournemouth will have more chance of sneaking their way into the Europa Conference League than they will have of being relegated. And if you do actually believe that they are going down, then please ask your mum to hide the scissors in the house. You'll probably accidentally take out your own eye whilst trying to open a yogurt pot. 18th Everton. Look, I might be being overly confident in Everton's behalf here. Maybe. I realise that, but a lot of people think that Everton are going down. And I understand why. They've been hovering above the drop zone for the last 2 seasons. They haven't hit 40 points in the Premier League campaign since Carlo Ancelotti left the club. This thinks of Sunderland in the Premier League, who weren't able to hit the 40-point mark in 2013 or 2014 or 2015 or 2016, and the luck finally ran out when they were relegated in 2017. The Black Cats ran out of lives, but Sean Dyche is a survival expert. He is the Premier League's answer to Bear Grylls. I wouldn't be surprised if he just drinks cups of wheat for breakfast, just to get into the zone. I mean, we all know he probably eats worms with a knife and fork. This is a man who kept Burnley up for years. A Burnley squad which was significantly weaker than the current Everton one. Lads, if Frank Lampard can keep Everton in the league, then so will Sean Dyche. Those who think Everton are going down aren't putting enough respect on Sean's name. I think there's more chance of him choking to death on a sausage roll in May than there is of him finishing inside the bottom 3, 17th Sheffield United. If anybody out there actually believes that Paul Heckingbottom, a failed Hibernian and Leeds United coach, if anybody actually believes he has the ability to keep Sheffield United in the Premier League, again, there's more chance of this guy eloping with a mermaid and growing a second head. I know the Blades could sack Heckingbottom and drag in, I don't know, Walter Mazzari to save the day, but no, come on, look at this squad. Their 2024 relegation is about as inevitable as there being another 10 Spider-Man films. 16th Brentford. Look, I've had my battles with Brentford in the past. I've often been accused of not believing in them enough, but I am sticking up for him here. The easy thing that I know a lot of you will do is say that without Ivan Toney for 6 months, Brentford will wind up in a relegation scrap, but they won't. I get why people are saying this. Losing a 20-goal-a-season striker for half the season would usually be damaging to a mid-table club. It's like when Sunderland lost Darren Bent or when Southampton lost Danny Ings, right? Well, if that's the case, then it's fine. Because initially, Sunderland sold their 20-goal-a-season talisman to Aston Villa in January 2011. Yeah, they had finished with 44 points in Bent's last full season, then wound up at 47 points 6 months after he was sold. And then it was 45 points the following year. Frightening consistency. I mean, Southampton sold a golden boot chasing Ings to Aston Villa in the summer of 2021, and then went from 43 points to 40 points without it. Not a huge immediate drop-off. Losing a 20-goal-a-season England international centre forward to a mid-table club isn't actually as damaging as it looks. Brentford will be fine. 15th Nottingham Forest. Second season syndrome is an ugly illness which infects, on average, one Premier League club per year. There is always a team who survives the first season in the Premier League based on pure adrenaline and luck, and then when asked to repeat the trick, suddenly look about as helpless as a 9-year-old trying to outbox a bear. Nottingham Forest transfer business almost makes you want to get sick into a pillowcase. Any Forest fan hanging their hat on Tully Alanga to come good. You're living in a Shrek fairy tale. And does their preseason encourage any Forest fan? 4 defeats, 1 being a 5-0 embarrassment against Rennes. They have failed to score in 5 of their 7 matches. Steve Cooper is a decent manager, yes. Despite looking like someone who probably didn't have his first kiss until he was 37. They'll be relegated, and so for anyone predicting survival. Yeah, I bet you also predict that cheerleaders will survive in horror films. 14th Tottenham. Okay, look, you're probably saying,
"Oh, Irish guy, nobody thinks Spurs will finish 14th.
Oh, there will be. A year ago, people were championing Tottenham to challenge for the title. Again, they were reactionary mountain trolls who probably dine out in restaurants, eating mashed potato with their hands. But now, I guarantee those same people with egg yolk for brains, you know who you are, will think the Spurs will finish 14th. They've had a pretty boring transfer window. They've just hired some bloke from Scotland, and now could be losing Harry Kane to Germany. Cue the overreaction. Some people think that Tottenham are the new Chelsea, the latest top 6 club, about to embarrass themselves by finishing inside the bottom half. Just like the epidemic of MMA fighters who ruined their reputation by losing a boxing match to Jake Paul, because apparently trying to imagine Tottenham without Kane is such an ugly, horrible sight, right? Lads, no, there is life after Harry Kane. I remember Tottenham finishing inside the top 6 when a mouldy Adebayor was the top scorer. The last time this club finished in the bottom half of the Premier League, Harry Kane was 14 years old. Postecoglou is an excellent coach. A lot of people will try and pretend that his tactics belong in an episode of Neighbours, right? Well, no, he's class, and Spurs will be fine. 13th, Luton Town. Okay, listen, I want Luton Town to do well too, and I almost respect those who are predicting them for a massive shock season. But I am telling you, look at this Luton squad over a 38-game season. It is physically impossible for them to finish anywhere above 16th. I am tipping Luton to stay up, yes, but even I'm not sure. I feel a bit queasy about saying 17th. I don't want to get the Luton Town supporters' hopes up. I do feel a bit mean. I feel like going down to the local orphanage and telling the hungry kids they're about to get adopted by Elton John. Yeah, in reality, they're just getting fostered by some weird middle-aged bloke who lives with his mum and who's suspiciously obsessed with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. If you think Luton will stay up, then great. We're in this together. Let's hope we look like genius scientists in May. But if you think they'll finish as high as 13th, seek professional help. 12th, Chelsea. Look, there will be people out there who expect another rotten season from Chelsea. I know there will be. There will be people who don't like Pochettino. I mean, really don't like it. There exists this narrative, especially after he somehow finished second in the French league with PSG, that Pochettino is an overrated bottle job allergic to silverware. It's not just the fans who think that. Clubs like Man United, Barcelona, Real Madrid, gigantic monster teams who tried to buy this bloke out of his Tottenham contract. All three could have appointed him for free in recent years, back when he was just sitting on a couch, covered in popcorn and Lucozade, living like a slob, looking like a cross between Wolverine and an off-season Paddy Pimblett, and considering Chelsea have lost 10 first-team players. I just know some fans will think that Chelsea will once again finish 12th. If you do believe that nonsense, then no. Put some respect on Pochettino's name. 11th Fulham. Look, this isn't the worst one. If you think Fulham will finish 11th, then that's fine. I'm not going to suddenly suggest you have immediate brain surgery. I just think there will be a lot of people in denial, thinking that Fulham aren't in for a troubling second season syndrome. Let's be real, your talisman centre forward doesn't want to be at your club. You're trying to replace him with a bloke who probably gets crippling migraines just trying to watch a Disney film on the bus. You're being dealt the embarrassment of Willian quitting your club just 2 weeks after he re-signed. And chucking the fact, I don't care what you say, Marco Silva will be second guessing himself when he's 17th in November, and with an unhappy wife who makes him sleep on the couch after he turned down a mega money deal from the Saudi Pro League. Honestly, she's probably so upset that he has denied the Silva family generational wealth. She's probably signing up to Tinder as we speak. It's going to be a rocky season for Fulham, not more of the same. 10th Wolves. You're delusional, I'm sorry, but you are. If you think Julian Lopetegui is getting this club to finish inside the top half, then you're probably about as stupid as the grandmother of Red Riding Hood, because she was also fooled by Wolves. Honestly, right now there'll be some people blinded by this club being in the hands of an ex-Spain and Real Madrid coach. But I'm sorry, wake up!
Oh, Julian, what big teeth you have!
No! This is going to be a flop year. I think they'll finish bottom. Have you seen all the players who've left this club? Lopetegui is not finishing inside the top half. This is not another Unai Emery effect. If Lopetegui does finish inside the top half in May 2024, I will get a tattoo of his face on my neck. And lads, he just looks like Darth Vader without the mask. 9th Crystal Palace. I don't know. Maybe some people will think that the steady old Roy Hodgson might help Crystal Palace finish as high as 9th in the Premier League. I get that a lot of people were blown away by Palace in the spring. They turned it on, scoring 5 against Leeds, 4 against West Ham. The zesty, spicy skills of Eze and Olise. I mean, the latter is someone linked with Chelsea and Man City right now. Some Palace fans might be eyeing up a top half finish, but I mean, this club haven't finished inside the top 10 since 2015. 9th would be their highest finish in the Football League since 1991. I'm sorry, but if anybody out there actually thinks that somebody who probably eats nothing but baby food and soup is masterminding a top half finish with a Zaha-less Palace, no, if that actually does happen, I'll go and live in a box in Turkey for a week. 8th West Ham. West Ham are European champions. Sort of. And so quite a few optimistic West Ham fans might think that despite losing their captain 2 summers in a row, that they'll be spurred on by that Europa Conference League win and get back to the days of David Moyes helping them finish inside the top 8. That last season was just a fluke. No chance. West Ham have done nothing in this transfer window, have yet another European competition thrust under their shoulders. It's going to be another mess. 7th Man United. Not a lot, but I bet some people out there think that Man United are on a downward slope and that they'll do something stupid like fail to finish inside the top 6. There will be some people out there who I guarantee you, the amount of people who think that Mason Mount is about as talented as a squash blueberry pie, it's almost embarrassing. I mean, I don't want to look like I'm obsessed with Mount. I'm not another stalker rummaging through his bins so I can sniff his cologne on an empty box of Ready Breck, but I am telling you, he is absolutely top class. You just know some people read way too much into the dodgy pre-season, where newbies and goalies are bullying Harry Maguire. Some will conclude that Eric Ten Hag really is just Humpty Dumpty on a diet, and someone will probably predict him to wind up finishing 7th, but you're absolutely wrong. 6th, Liverpool. Similarly, some people will see Liverpool taking another huge step backwards this season. Now they're lumbered with the ugliness of Thursday night football, as well as having only 6 registered central midfielders at the club. I actually think some people will think their squad is now weaker than it was 2 months ago, and will logically assume they're about to take a backward step into 6th, especially considering they've conceded 4 goals in 2 different preseason games. But no, Liverpool are finishing minimum top 5, but probably top 4. Their attacking options are filth. 5th, Brighton. Some people are obsessed with Brighton and Hove Albion. They've slowly gone from being a hipster's dream to now, annoyingly, very mainstream. They're a bit like KSI's music. 5 years ago, it was just being played by embarrassed teenage nerds in their bedroom. But now it's on Radio 1 every day. It's no longer just the Alfies and Hamels of the world who think about Brighton whilst kissing their girlfriends. Everyone now thinks that Bobby De Zerbi's men will actually challenge for the Champions League spots. If you actually think that this Brighton squad will be able to cope with European football and once again finishes at the top 6, no. You probably also think that there's a realistic chance that one day you'll come home from work to find the Queen of England making you breakfast on the porch. No chance. Like literally 0. This is what happens to English underdogs when they finish in a Europa League spot. In 2006, Middlesbrough went from 7th to 14th. In 2010, Fulham went from 7th to 12th. In 2013, Newcastle went from 5th to 16th. It happens every time. So top 5, no chance. 4th, Aston Villa. Can Aston Villa qualify for the Champions League? No. Next. Lads, why not Arsenal? People underestimate Unai Emery to a worrying extent. Just a good evening punchline, who gained no respect in England. After the Arsenal sack, he was having to go through the ordeal of a 3-hour interview for the Everton job. Sorry, what? He'd won the Europa League 3 years on the bounce. An Everton job interview should have been no more than just someone saying, please take the job, not the entire length of the Lord of the Rings film. But now, I think people might think too highly of him and expect too much, because anyone who thinks that Aston Villa will finish inside the Champions League spots, there will be some people deluded into believing that. But if that happens, I will do an entire video buried up to my eyeballs in snow. 3rd, Man City. Please tell me there aren't actually people who believe Man City will finish 3rd. Something this club have only ever done in the Premier League twice, in 2017 and 2011. I actually think it is impossible for the City squad to finish any lower than the top 2. 2nd, Newcastle. There will be. I know there will be. Newcastle fans get excited. They've just gone from the stuffy Mike Ashley regime, where they were begging for a takeover at any takeover, and now they're the richest club in the world and in the Champions League. There will be some excited, jumped up loons who think, why not be best of the rest and 2nd behind City, ignoring that they have Dan Burn at left back? It's a bit like someone winning a karaoke contest down the pub and then thinking they can win Britain's Got Talent. 1st, Arsenal. They won't. 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 Some Arsenal fans, after technically beating Man City in the Community Shield, think they can now topple Man City with Declan Rice in midfield. Does nobody understand the Community Shield curse? Manchester City won the Community Shield in 2018, beating Chelsea, and then won the Premier League title in May. That is the only time a Community Shield winner has gone on to lift the Premier League title in the same season since Man United in 2010, again beating Chelsea at Wembley before lifting the title in May. That's once in 13 seasons. Yeah, I bet Arsenal fans just wish they let City win it now. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comments. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry if you predicted any of these clubs to finish in those places. But if you are, hang your head in shame. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like, share, subscribe. As always, I'll talk to you in a while. That last bit sounded very camp.